Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we visit the area of Rosehearty inside Aberdeenshire. Our journey took us to a fascinating castle with many beautiful decorative features that are worth exploring here. Join us as we wander the home of the Forbes of Pitsligo for over 3 centuries, who enjoyed a settled life until the vengeful aftermath of the Jacobite rebellion. The history starts in 1424 when the Fraser family built Pitsligo Castle on a site a few hundred yards inland from the beautiful Scottish coast. This was then considerably enlarged by the Forbes family in 1570. Later, in the 1630s, Sir Alex Forbes, who was at first resident of the castle, was later to become the first Lord Pitsligo, and he dramatically expanded the existing settlement of Rosehearty. His main aim was to develop a large commercial fishery where Sir Alex would take 20% of everything that landed at his new port. He then turned his attention to the rebuild of the castle, greatly enlarging the medieval tower with ranges of buildings surrounded by a courtyard. The second Lord finished his father's work and created a luxurious residence with opulent interiors. Every window here was glazed, which of course was a measure of just how much wealth the Lord lavished on his new home. And at this time it became one of the finest residences in North East Scotland. Like so many historic houses in the area, the fate of Pitsligo hung in the balance during the Jacobite uprisings in the 18th century. The last Forbes of Pitsligo, another Alexander, supported the 45 rebellion, and after the Stuart defeat in the Battle of Culloden, Forbes was forced to flee for his life, and he was declared a fugitive, an outlaw with a price on his head, forcing him to live in caves, under bridges, and finding refuge in the safe periods as a guest with friends and family. During Alexander's time hiding, he came across government troops on plenty of different occasions, but always managed to avoid capture or detection. On one occasion, he stumbled upon troops patrolling the area, and unable to hide from them anywhere, he decided to sit down on the roadside and stretch out his hand pretending to be a beggar. Not only was this clever, but even one of the troops stopped to help him with a coin, unaware of who he was. Another event that occurred was whilst he was seeking help from the local shoemaker. The workshop was suddenly surrounded by government dragoons. The shoemaker was well aware of who Alexander was, and his quick thinking led him to tell Alex to pretend to be his employee and pretend that he's working there. Despite his obvious lack of skill cobbling, whilst the troop ransacked the workshop, the ruse worked, and it worked that well that they left. Still on the run, the Lord of Pitsligo is hiding in the home of his son, and one night, whilst he is staying as a guest of Sophia Forbes Donaldson, she dreams where she sees soldiers approaching and wakes the entire household. Oddly enough, this came true. In the very early hours, soldiers arrived at the house, and with no time or quick thinking, Sir Alexander is hidden in a small secret room. But unfortunately, he is unable to stop his asthma attack. It's down to Miss Gordon on hearing his coughs, and she decides to drown out the sound by her own fits of coughing, managing to lead the soldiers away from the coughing lord. He later died in 1762 from natural causes, and his lands are able to be declared forfeit. The castle was then awarded to Alexander Garden, who set about dismantling the castle for building materials. Sadly, again, the castle was ransacked by King George's troops, and the castle became nothing more than a crumbling ruin. Then in 1989, a publishing magnate, Malcolm Forbes, purchased the castle estate and tried to restore the fortress, or at least to the point where it was no longer in danger of falling down. 6 years later, the castle was passed to the Pitsligo Castle Trust, who are a charity group who look after the property, and are now developing a Jacobite museum nearby. Though still a partial ruin, the castle has a wealth of architectural details, including a number of heraldic carvings incorporating arms of both the Fraser and the Forbes families, which can be seen over the doorways in several places around the site. On the west front of the castle is a more personal coat of arms, showing the arms of the second Lord Forbes and his wife Mary Erskine, daughter of the Earl of Buchanan. This was erected in 1663 to mark the completion of the second Earl's expansion of the castle. Larger buildings line the north side. Again, they were all vaulted, and in the northeast corner was a kitchen complex next to the round tower with additional stories above. An internal stair tower led to the first floor. The Frasers were known for moving to Pitsligo Castle, which was built a short distance to the east. It was a late 16th century fortified house that was built to celebrate the marriage of Alexander Fraser and his wife, Margaret Abernethy. The castle was built around a courtyard, very similar in style to Pitsligo, and the ranges of buildings are around the rectangular courtyard and are 2 stories high. On the northwest corner of it is a 4-storey tower with beautiful oriel windows. The top floor of this tower would have housed the lord in the chamber. Today the castle stands in the middle of a farm field, and if you wait around until the end of the video, we've captured some drone footage of the castle as it was inaccessible to access on foot. many of these rooms and buildings are rubble-filled with scaffolding for restoration, it's unsightly, but I'm thankful that we're able to explore here. A lot of other places would have just simply closed them off, but being able to see inside these ruined, decayed buildings, for us, is really interesting to be in. The castle consists of the ruins of a 15th century great tower and associated courtyard, which is lined with the remains of a 16th century ranges of buildings. In addition is an outer court and a formal approach to the west. The great tower is built slightly off square and has walls over 3 metres thick at the base. The vaulted basement contains a single slit window to the west with a mural stair coming down the northwest corner. In addition, a second mural stair in the northeast corner comes down to an entrance lobby in the thickness of the walls, which opened out into the courtyard and forms the only visible entrance to the tower house today. On first floor level is a fireplace in the western gable and an entrance to the spiral stair in the southeast corner, which led up to the upper floors. Our visit to both of the ruins has been really insightful and super interesting. It was amazing to see Pitsligo all ruinous, perhaps a little dangerous in parts, but it really makes you feel like you're walking back in time once you walk through those gatehouse doors. I can imagine all of the stories and actually how it must have felt living here. The place reeks of mystery, and I feel there is so much more here that went on. Overall, a fascinating explore, finding out all the details in the stonework and finding the history, with free parking and free entry, which is always a bonus on our journey. So we really hope you've enjoyed watching our visit to Pitsligo Castle and would love to encourage you to go visit for yourselves or just get out and about and exploring. If you've liked what you've seen, please be sure to hit that like button and click that notification bell, or consider joining our Patreon or subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. We want to say a huge thank you to our Patreons and a big thank you to everyone for watching. Till next time.
Just